One of the top high school football players in all of the nation, a top 50 player overall, a top 3 safety, Bryce Anderson, has made his college decision. And he was down to the Texas Longhorns and the Texas A&M Aggies, but ultimately today we find out that Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies are going to be getting a phenomenally talented player, a part of their 22 cycle. And we need to talk about what this means both for the Aggies and for the Texas Longhorns going forward, and you do not want to miss it. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised and excited that Bryce Anderson is heading to College Station? Let me know what you're thinking there. And if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content, and you don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy that content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions, though small, are massive to content creators such as myself. But with all that being said, let's talk about Bryce Anderson, the number 48 player in all of high school football, the 12th best player in the state of Texas, and the 3rd best safety in the nation. And this kid is phenomenally talented. He was an incredibly coveted player throughout the entirety of his process, and one that both the Texas Longhorns and the Texas A&M Aggies were incredibly excited to be a part of his final two. Now, ultimately, he chooses the Aggies, and this will be a massive win for Jimbo and the Aggies, not only because they keep a player away from in-state rival Texas, who, now that they look to move to the SEC, is more pertinent than ever, but also what it does for your program. Getting in a guy that amount of talent, of that caliber of a football player, to come in and be a part of your program is always a win. You know, ranking aside, just watch the film of Anderson and you can see why he is such a highly touted player, and one that I am very excited to see when he takes the field for the Aggies. He's a name we're going to have to watch. And this pushes A&M's class just outside the top 10, but they have a really solid average recruit ranking, which would put them in the top 10 if we were just to go by the average recruit rankings in the nation. But Bryce Anderson is a really solid addition to this class, and one they are very happy to have because they are really getting a solid DB room going in this 22 cycle for the Aggies. And Jimbo and company have been recruiting at a really high level. Not long ago, hosting an event that had so many talented attendees it would make your head spin. But where does this leave the Longhorns? And if you are looking at this from Texas's point of view, I will offer the good news. The good news is in your class you already and still have two phenomenally talented safeties in Brian Allen Jr. and Austin Jordan. So you can sleep easy at night knowing you do have two talented safeties, but there isn't any way to put this other than this is a hit. This is someone who the Texas Longhorns absolutely wanted a part of their class and had as a massive priority for him to be a part of their class. So there's no way to cut it. This is a hit to the Longhorns class, not capitalizing on Bryce Anderson, but that doesn't mean that this is all lost. You still have Denver Harris. I understand they play different positions, but Denver is still a phenomenally important piece to Texas's recruiting class, but they find themselves in a battle with LSU, Alabama, and once again A&M for Denver Harris, one of the most talented players in the nation. That's a battle we absolutely have to watch. So like I said, while if you are a Texas fan, this is absolutely a hit. There is no way around it. This kid is phenomenally talented. This is an individual who many around the Texas program actually thought that he would end up in Austin. Now that he's going to A&M, this is a hit for the Longhorns, but you are at least happy that in your class you already have two safeties that are very talented in Austin Jordan and Brian Allen Jr. Hop down in the comments, let me know what you're thinking, because this is an awesome get for Jimbo and the Texas A&M Aggies. And even though the Longhorns still have two very talented safeties a part of their class, this is a big hit not getting Bryce Anderson because he was that big of a deal to the Longhorns class. I cannot wait to hear what y'all are thinking. That's it. See ya.